Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Comedy this hour, we start off in Springfield. Robert Young, Father Knows Best, in an episode going back to April 19th, 1951. A dinner date.
Mother, is Maxwell House the best coffee in the whole world?
Well, your father says so, and your father knows best.
Yes, it's Father Knows Best, transcribed in Hollywood, starring Robert Young as father. A half-hour visit with your neighbors, the Andersons. Brought to you by Maxwell House, the coffee that's bought and enjoyed by more people than any other brand of coffee at any price. Maxwell House, always good to the last drop. It's a peculiar thing about people, especially people who belong to a family. First, they begin to look alike. Then, as if that weren't bad enough, they begin to think alike. That'd be a fine thing if you were related to Betty Grable or Albert Einstein. But what if you were related to the Andersons? Looking like them wouldn't be too bad, I suppose. But thinking the way they do, well, that can lead to all sorts of complications, like this.
But why does it have to be a surprise?
Bud, who wants to go to an anniversary party if it isn't a surprise?
I do. Who are you going to call now?
Mr. Smith.
You already called him twice.
Well, I forgot to tell him something.
Betty, wouldn't it be just as good if Mom and Dad knew? Then they could help us a little.
Oh, so that's what it is. You're afraid of a little extra work, that's all.
What?
I am not.
Mr. Smith, this is Betty Anderson.
Don't tell me you're not having the party. I've already called everybody.
Oh, no, it isn't anything like that. Mr. Smith, if you see my father or my mother, you won't say anything about it, will you?
Tell him it's a surprise party.
Well...
Just a minute, Mr. Smith. He knows it's a surprise party. I told him that in the beginning. Mr. Smith...
Betty,
if you told him in the beginning, why do you have to tell him again?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, if you told him in the beginning, why do you have to tell him again?
Bud, will you please keep still?
You said you couldn't hear me.
I said I couldn't hear... Uh-oh. I can't talk now. Somebody's coming. Goodbye.
What you doing?
Oh, hi, Kathy. Where'd you come from?
I was in the kitchen. What you doing?
It's a secret.
I can keep a secret.
Oh, sure.
If we tell you, we might as well put it in the newspaper.
I won't tell anybody. Honest, I won't.
Betty, let's go upstairs.
That's a good idea.
Can I go too?
You stay down here where you belong.
I belong upstairs just as much as you do.
Why don't you go do your homework?
I don't have to do what you tell me. You're not my mother.
You talk too much.
You better tell me what the secret is, or I'll tell Daddy what you did.
What did we do?
I'll think of something.
Your mother wears army shoes.
She does not. And you better not say things like that.
Like what, kittens?
Daddy, do you know what Betty and Bud are doing?
I know, sweetheart. What are they doing?
I don't know. They won't tell me.
Where's Mommy?
She's fixing dinner. Betty and Bud are always whispering.
Well, maybe they're discussing something they don't want you to hear.
Everybody's got things they don't want me to hear. Everybody's got secrets except me.
Well, I'll tell you what. How would you like to have a special secret with me?
Oh, Daddy, you could trust me. I won't tell anybody, not even if they twist my arms and pull my ears and kick me in the shins.
Oh, all right, Kathy. I trust you.
Oh, I'll never tell anybody, Daddy. Cross my heart and hope to die as long as I live.
Fine. Do you know what the day after tomorrow is?
Saturday?
It's our wedding anniversary, Mommy's and mine.
It is?
And do you know what I'm going to do? I'm giving Mommy a surprise party.
Oh, Daddy, how wonderful.
That's a secret now.
Oh, I'll never tell anybody, Daddy. Not even if they kill me.
Yes. Now, I'll tell you what we'll do. I have to call Mr. Smith and make a few arrangements. So you go into the kitchen and make sure that Mommy doesn't hear me.
Isn't this exciting, Daddy?
It sure is, kitten. Go ahead now.
Okay, and if she starts to come out, I'll yell.
That's a good girl.
I'll yell loud.
All right, Kathy.
Real loud.
All right. 9 or 90, they're all the same. Once they start talking, you can't stop them. Yakety, yakety, yakety.
Hello?
Oh, hello, Heck. This is Jim Anderson.
Oh, hiya, Jim. What's up?
Heck, I know this is kind of short notice, but Saturday's our wedding anniversary, and I was just...
I can't hear you very well, Jim. Can't you talk a little louder?
Well, Margaret's in the kitchen, and I don't want her to hear me.
Well, what good is it if I can't hear you either?
Heck, Saturday's our wedding anniversary, and I was just wondering...
Daddy!
I can't talk to you now.
Yeah, but Jim...
I'll call you later. Well, hello, honey.
Jim, what on earth are you doing?
Doing? Me? I was... Why, nothing.
Who were you talking to?
I wasn't talking to anybody. I was just, trying to find out what time it is, that's all.
There's a clock right in back of you.
I know, but it seemed later than that, and I wanted to check with the operator.
That's what he was doing, Mommy.
How do you know?
He always checks with the operator. Don't you, Daddy?
Yes, it's, I always do. From time to time.
About the time.
Jim, are you sure everything's all right?
Everything's fine, isn't it, Kathy?
Is it?
Of course it is. Just fine.
Well, if you say so.
Mommy, I've got a good idea. Let's go back to the kitchen.
Why?
Don't you like the kitchen?
Jim.
Well, what she means, honey, is that, you can't very well cook in the hall, can you?
Something is cooking in the hall.
Is dinner ready, Mom?
Not yet, dear.
Well, whenever it is, so am I.
We'll make a special note of it.
Okay.
Now, why is everyone so anxious to get me into the kitchen?
We're hungry, honey, that's all.
You're sure that's the only reason?
Of course. Why, what other reason could we have?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
You know, I've been trying to figure this out for years. What makes women so all-fired suspicious?
That's very simple, dear. Men.
Mommy, the kettle.
Oh, dear.
Women would be suspicious if there weren't any men.
Of course they would, but not of the same things.
Well, I suppose that makes sense. I don't know to who, but... Kathy.
Yes, Daddy?
Get back on guard duty. I'm going to call Mr. Smith.
What?
Let me know if your mother heads this way again.
Oh, okay. This is fun, isn't it, Daddy?
Fun. Every time I start one of these things, I ought to have my brains examined. My brains.
Hello?
Hello, Heck. This is Jim.
Well, what happened right in the middle of the...
Daddy!
Goodbye, Heck.
Jim?
I'm in here, honey.
Will you tell the children to come down to dinner?
You bet. I'll call them right now. Bud, Betty, dinner's ready.
Okay, I'll be right down.
They'll be right down, Margaret.
Thank you, dear.
If you don't mind, I think I'll run upstairs and wash my hands.
Jim, the phone's ringing.
I can't hear you, honey. This darn phone... Whoa. Hello?
Now, look, Jim, I'm a patient man, but this is getting silly.
Is that for me, Father?
No, it isn't.
It certainly is. You called me up twice.
Not you, Heck. Betty.
She over here?
No, she's here.
Then why did you call me?
Because I wanted to talk to you.
Well, say something.
Father?
Goodbye, Heck.
Wait a minute,
Hector, I'll
you-
call you later.
You better hurry up, Father. Dinner's ready.
I know dinner's ready.
Jim?
We'll be right in, Margaret.
What are you doing out there?
Not a thing, honey.
I thought you said you were hungry.
I am. We're just... Bud. Bud!
I'm right here, Dad.
I know you're here. Everybody in the neighborhood knows you're here. Why can't you just walk down the stairs?
I thought it was time for dinner.
It is.
And you want me to walk?
I'll get it.
Leave it alone.
But, Father, if the phone... Jim!
I've been answering it all night. There's no reason why... Hello?
Guess who?
Look, Heck, I just finished telling
Jim,
you...
if this is your idea of a joke, it isn't the least bit funny.
Wait a minute, Heck. Honey, I've been telling the
Would
children...
you please go into dinner before everything gets ice cold?
But I have to tell
I'll take care of Hector.
But, honey...
Jim.
Hector, Margaret will speak to you.
That's nice.
Okay, kids, let's go.
What's everybody so excited about?
Maybe we're having steak for dinner.
We are?
Hector?
Margaret, how do you stand living in that nut factory?
Well, it isn't easy. Is Elizabeth there?
Oh, not right now. You want her to call you?
Will you ask her to, please?
Yeah, okay.
I want to tell her about the surprise party I'm giving for Jim on Saturday.
Party here, party there, party everywhere. Father Knows Best, April 19th, 1951, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, shh, there's going to be an anniversary party at the Andersons. Father Knows Best, April 19th, 1951, but which party?
A great many people believe that all things come in threes. Good things, bad things, births, deaths, accidents. Everything happens in threes. But even they were sure would doubt that 3 surprise parties could ever happen at one time, which proves conclusively that they've never been in Springfield. Anyway, it's a short time later, and the Andersons' dinner is over at last. Their problems, however, are just beginning. Like this.
Kathy,
Yes, Mommy?
has your father come back?
Not yet.
Betty,
I'm in the kitchen, Bud.
can I see you for a minute, please?
I have to help Mother.
Go ahead, Betty. I can finish up in here.
Well, if you're sure.
I'm quite sure.
Okay. If you need me for anything, just yell.
That's exactly what I'll do.
Hiya, knothead. Bud wants you. Isn't it thrilling? And I don't even care about your old secret. I don't care if you've got 1,000,000 of them.
Kathy,
You want me, Mommy?
have you finished your homework?
Oh, sure. I finished it long ago.
What's this about a secret?
Oh, Betty and Bud think they're so wonderful just 'cause they've got a secret.
Angel, speaking of secrets, would you like to do something for Mommy?
I don't know any secrets.
I know, dear,
And
but...
even if I did, I couldn't tell because then it wouldn't be a secret anymore.
Of course,
And
but...
besides, I don't know anything about the surprise part.
Kathy.
Gee whiz. I didn't mean to say it.
I'm sure you didn't. And Kathy, I don't know how you found out, but let's be sure that no one else knows anything about our secret.
What secret?
The surprise party I'm giving for your father on Saturday. Kathy, what's wrong with you?
I don't feel well.
You're tired, sweetheart. A good night's rest and you'll be as good as new.
Mommy,
Yes, dear?
if somebody tells you a secret, and then somebody else tells you a secret... Kathy! What are you supposed to do?
About what, dear?
What I just said. If somebody tells you a secret and you already know it because somebody else told you, what?
What?
Hey, Kathy!
You'd better see what they want, dear.
But what about my problem?
We'll talk about it sometime when we're not so tired.
Okay.
Now run along like a good girl.
Okay.
And Kathy, I wish you'd stop saying okay.
Okay. Gee whiz, all the secrets in the whole world, and they have to pick out the same one. What are you mumbling about? I'm not happy.
Well, don't worry, Squirt. We're gonna fix that right now. Look, how'd you like to know what our secret is?
I wouldn't. I know enough secrets.
But we have to tell you.
No, you don't.
We do.
Kathy, you've got to help us.
I don't have to do anything, and I don't want to know any more secrets.
That's fine. Your own sister and brother.
Your own flesh and fish.
Well, okay. What's the secret?
We're giving Mother and Father a surprise party on Saturday.
Oh, no.
And if you tell one person, but one, well, you better not, that's all.
Why did you have to tell me?
Because we want you to get them out of the house.
They won't go.
Why not?
I can't tell you.
Why can't you?
'Cause it's a secret.
But all you have to do is get them to take you for a walk or something.
I used to be so happy.
Look, Kathy, I'll give you my old catcher's mitt.
I didn't know anything.
And I'll give you back your football.
I was such a happy little dope.
But it's Father.
Remember, Kathy, if you say one word... Hiya, Dad. How's every little old thing?
Well, Bud, would you like to make a full confession now, or shall I send Kathy for the rubber hose?
What?
Where did you hide the body?
Hello, Father.
I didn't have the hose.
What body?
Hello, Betty. I know it, and anybody. And if anybody thinks I know what I'm talking about, he's crazy.
Mother's in the kitchen.
Good. Wake me up in time for the 4th race.
Betty, I think we'd better go upstairs.
We'll see you later, Father.
Give my regards to the governor. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Whisper, whisper, whisper. Nothing but secrets.
Daddy.
You haven't told anybody about ours, have you?
No, but
Good. Oh, keep an eye peeled for your mother, kitten. I've got to call Mr. Smith again.
But I want to ask
Not
you...
now, Kathy. We'll talk about it later.
Can't I even ask one question?
All right, but make it...
Hello?
Oh, heck. I forgot to tell you something.
Again?
What if you know a secret?
Not now, Kathy.
Gee whiz.
Heck, I'll leave the back door open, and you take everybody into the kitchen.
You told me that.
Oh, did I tell you the signal?
What signal?
Beelzebub. When I say Beelzebub, everybody comes rushing in.
Beelzebub.
That's the signal. Can you remember it?
I'll have it tattooed on my chest.
Oh, here's another thing.
Please, Jim. I got a small chest.
I know. Look, Heck, you won't say anything about this to Margaret, will you? After all, we want it to be a surprise, don't we?
Oh, yeah, sure. We're going to surprise everybody.
Attaboy. Well, I'll be seeing you, Heck.
Good night, Jim.
Good night, pal.
Daddy,
What is it?
if I told you a secret...
Honey, I don't have any time for secrets right now.
But this is about the party.
Oh, what about it?
Well, is a secret always a secret? I mean, if somebody tells you a secret and somebody else tells you a secret, can't you even tell anybody that the secret isn't even a secret anymore?
Why don't you call me up next Monday?
But the party's Saturday.
Kathy, if you don't want to help me, what about the party?
Nothing, but, I mean, well, if everybody tells you the same secret...
Kitten, if everybody knows, then it isn't a secret.
Well, nobody knows, but everybody... Well, is it telling a secret if you suppose?
If I suppose what?
Well, suppose Betty and Bud are giving a surprise party for you and Mommy.
What?
I didn't say they were.
Betty!
I just said suppose.
Betty!
Did you call me, Father?
Come down here. And bring Bud with you.
Okay. They'll kill me. They said they'll kill me.
No one's going to hurt you. Bud, walk down the stairs.
say something, Dad?
Never mind.
What's the matter, Father?
What's this about you and Bud giving a party?
Kathy?
Just you wait.
I didn't tell him. Honest, I didn't.
Leave Kathy alone. It's a good thing somebody around here has some sense.
You mean Kathy? Me?
Yeah, Kathy. Father Knows Best, April 11th, 1951, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. The conclusion follows these words from your favorite station. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow launching the MyPillow 2.0. Now, when Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he's discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. Of course, the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, but now with brand new fabric with a temperature-regulating thread, it's the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with my promo code Wyatt. MyPillow 2.0 is 100% made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Use my promo code Wyatt or call 1-800-928-4715. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of the anniversary party. It's a surprise. Father Knows Best, April 19th, 1951.
Well, what's the sense of having two parties on the same night?
You mean there's gonna be another party?
That's right. I'm giving a surprise party for your mother on Saturday.
But that's what we're doing.
Holy cow.
Look, let's go into the den and close the door.
After we saved up all our money.
Come on, Kathy, you two.
Yes, Daddy.
I still think she had something to do with it.
Now, first, I want to say that your mother and I are very grateful.
For what?
Well, I think it's very nice that you wanted to give us a party.
Oh, it wasn't anything.
Aren't we still going to have a party?
Of course we are. There isn't much sense to having two sets of refreshments, is there?
Why not?
Oh, Bud.
Well, what's wrong with it?
I've got an idea. Suppose we say that it's your party, but we'll toss to see who pays for the refreshments. How'll that be?
Bud?
Okay, we'll take heads.
Good. Here we go. It's, tails.
That means we pay, huh?
No. I won, so I have to pay.
And it's still our party?
That's right.
Boy, that's wonderful.
Daddy?
Yes, kitten?
Now are you going to toss with Mommy?
I'll get it.
Never mind, Betty. I'm right here. Hello?
Jim, this is Heck.
Oh, hello, Heck.
We're all next door at the Davises. How soon are we supposed to come over?
Didn't Margaret tell you?
No, she just said she'd see us.
Well, can you see our kitchen window from there?
I suppose so.
All right. As soon as the light goes out, bring everybody in the back way.
Okay.
And don't forget the signal.
Beelzebub.
That's my boy. See you in a few minutes, Heck.
Okay, pal.
Well, that takes care of that.
Father, I'm getting a little worried.
About what?
I don't see any sandwiches or anything. What if Kathy made a mistake?
She didn't make any mistake. I checked with Mrs. Smith, and your mother's giving a party.
Boy, I hope Mom made a lot of sandwiches. I'm starving.
But there's one thing we've got to be sure of. Your mother must never find out that her party isn't exactly a surprise.
Well, we certainly won't.
Watch it, Betty.
Huh?
Oh, hello, honey. All, finished with the dishes?
Yes, dear, all finished.
I dried, didn't I, Mommy?
You certainly did.
Did you, turn the light out in the kitchen?
Of course.
Want me to turn it back on?
No, just, leave it the way it is. Shall we go into the living room?
All right.
The paper says it's going to be warm tomorrow.
It's about time. Isn't it, Kathy?
Oh, sure.
I thought today was very nice.
Yes, it was fine.
Sure is getting hungry, isn't it? I mean, late.
Yes. Gets later all the time.
You know, we're all being very silly.
What do you mean, honey?
Well, sitting here pretending that we don't know about your party.
Party? Why? What?
Elizabeth told me all about the party you and the children are giving.
We're giving.
And I think it's very sweet.
Honey, you mean the party you're giving?
No, I mean the one you're giving. I didn't want to interfere, so I canceled all my plans.
Holy cow.
Margaret, do you mean you didn't prepare any refreshments?
Of course not. I thought certainly yours would be enough.
Ours?
Oh, Margaret.
There'll be a house full of people and nothing to give them.
Boy, what a mess.
You mean you haven't prepared any refreshments?
Well, we called ours off when we found out about your party.
Oh, Jim.
What are we going to do?
But we'll have to run down to the delicatessen.
Daddy.
Not now, Kathy.
But this is important. What if somebody says Beelzebub?
Beelzebub?
It's sometime later, and the Anderson surprise party is going full blast. Thanks to the delicatessen and a raid on every icebox in the neighborhood, the question of refreshments has been solved. Not so, however, is the question of Hector Smith. Like this.
Hank. Oh, Hank?
You want me, Jim?
Come over here for a second. I want to talk to you.
Okay, pal. What's on your mind?
Look, Hank. You did this deliberately, didn't you?
Did what?
You knew about all three parties, and you let us go right ahead.
Well, sure. What did you want me to do?
Well, you could have told me about it, couldn't you?
Of course not.
Why?
Jim, I'm surprised at you. It was a secret.
Join us again next week when we'll be back with Father Knows Best, starring Robert Young as Jim Anderson, Roy Bargy and the Maxwell House Orchestra. In our cast were June Whitley as Margaret, Rhoda Williams, Ted Donaldson, Norma Jean Nilsson, Herb Vigran, and yours truly, Bill Foreman. So until next Thursday, good night and good luck from the makers of Maxwell House, America's favorite brand of coffee. Always good to the last drop. Father Knows Best was transcribed in Hollywood and written by Ed James. Now stay tuned in for Dragnet, which follows immediately over most of these stations.
April 19th, 1951. Father Knows Best on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, thanks to Ted at RadioMemories.com for today's episode of Lum and Abner. This episode was originally broadcast on April 19th, 1944, and it continues to be a mess figuring out what's going on.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog his Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, John 'em Down store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, Let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, Lum, Abner, and Cedric arrived back in Pine Ridge late last night, weary and worn, and not particularly glad that they had gone on a buried treasure expedition to Tennessee. As we look in on the little community today, we find the old fellows back in their jot-em-down store and library, preparing to see their old friends again and, incidentally, to answer embarrassing questions about the luckless expedition. Listen.
You know, it seems sort of good being back here, don't it?
Yeah.
Sweeping out the store again and all. But I sure dread what we're going to have to go through today. Been dreading it all night long.
What do you mean? What we'd have to go through?
Well, you know, folks coming in here in the store and having to tell them about the expedition.
Oh, that. Yeah, me too. I almost wish we could keep the store closed for a few days till the folks sort of forget we ever went on that buried treasure expedition. But we can't hardly do that. We got to make some money to live on.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised nobody ain't been in here already this morning, making them smart remarks at us. We've been open for about now a half hour now.
Yeah, more than likely folks ain't discovered we're back yet. It was pretty late when we drove into town last night, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
But quick as they find out we're here, they'll rush in the store like a drove of red ants.
Yeah.
And then the questions will start. Questions. How much treasure did you dig up? Where's your diamond stick pins? How rich are you? And all them silly remarks.
I wish we didn't have to put up with that. I sure do.
Yeah, me too. Dread it in the worst way. I don't know how we can get out of it, though.
Yeah, I reckon what makes folks that way, Lum? So nosy and all.
I don't know. Just like I've always said, Abner, it's human nature with them. Folks are all born with curiosities right in them, and they can't get away from it. I've always said that.
That blamed old snoops.
I don't care who you take, they've just got to find out all about other folks' business.
Butt-inskies, that's what
Just can't mind their own. Just cannot do it.
No, you're right about that, you sure.
If I've said that once, I've said it 1,000 times.
Yes, sir, humans are cuter people. I believe I hate them more than anybody I ever knowed.
But I can tell you one thing. They ain't going to make no laughing stocks out of us.
They ain't, huh?
No, sir. When they start crowding in here with all their smart remarks and prying questions, why, we just stand right up to them and give them an eye for an eye. Give them a nail for a nail and a teeth for a tooth.
Now, wait a minute here, Lum. Now, I'll give just about everything I've got for that expedition of ours, but I ain't giving away my teeth now. That's going too far.
I never meant
My
to.
teeth are about all I've got left, and I need 'em to eat with. If I can get something to eat, I'm keeping 'em. Yes, sirree, Bob, sir, I am keeping them.
Well, Abner, I never meant actual give your teeth away. That's just the express.
I don't care what it is. My teeth are staying right where they're at. I paid good money for 'em. $13.95. And I posted,
know
too.
That, but that
I recollect the day they come in the mail. Little Pearl was still home then, and she brung the package up from the mailbox.
Abner, you can keep your teeth.
Well, that's better. Doggone, I tell you, a feller has to stick up for his rights these days.
Well, what I meant was that we ain't going to let nobody gruffle at us.
If they do gruffle, they ain't going to do it with my teeth. I'll tell you that now.
That would be an insult, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're going to stand up like we is bigger and smarter and richer than anybody that comes in here.
Yes, sir.
Going to be so nonchalance about the whole thing, they won't even suspect nothing.
Huh?
Going to act like the expedition was a big success. Like we enjoyed every minute of it.
Enjoyed?
Oh, yeah.
Doggone, that ain't going to be easy to do, though, Lum. I'm still bruised all over from riding in that car, Cedric. That's the roughest thing I ever seen.
Well, just forget about that and start thinking that our expedition was the best one thing we ever taken up. Act like you own half the world.
Which half?
It don't matter which half.
Why, sure it does. Doggone, there's parts of this world I don't believe I'd want to own right now, Lum.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
No, sir. Give me my choice of halves, and I'll take it. That's the only way I'll deal.
Just act sort of rich and let it go at that.
Oh.
Keep your head high in the air and keep your chin up and keep a stiff upper set.
You bet your life I'm going to keep 'em, every one of 'em, right where they're at right now.
We'll tell 'em who's a laughing stocks and who ain't.
Yeah, but, Lum, I just know they're going to ask a lot of questions that'll be hard for us to answer. Now, what are we going to say when they ask us where's all the treasure that we dug up's at?
Well, we'll just tell 'em we never brung none of it with us.
Never brung?
That's a fact. We never brung no treasury.
Well, do you want us to tell them that there was so much of it and it was so big that we just couldn't get it all in Cedric's car?
No, that'd be telling a story, and we don't want to do that.
Oh?
We stick to the truth.
We will, huh?
Oh, yeah. All we'll do is just try to make the truth sound a little different, so.
Oh, yeah.
Folks get the idea somehow that the treasury was too big to tote bag. Without us coming right out flat-footed and saying that, of course, why, that's their business. We ain't got no control over what they think.
No. They got a right to think what they want, I reckon. But now, what if they ask us where we left the treasure at? And exactly what it was and all that sort of thing.
Well, I know. We can say that it ain't all dug up yet.
Ain't dug up, huh?
Yeah. Then we can tell them that we hired a big crew of men to keep digging. No, I reckon that'd be stretching things a little.
Yeah, all it is just that one feller that owns the property back there. He's the only one that's digging. And we never hired him. All we done is just give him the treasure map, and if he finds anything, he's going to send us half of it.
Well, we can say that we left a man in charge of the digging there.
Yeah, we done that.
Yeah, and if folks want to think that we hired him and that he's got a gang of fellas working for him, why, we can't hardly stop them from thinking that.
No, that's right. Well, I just hope all this works out all right.
I think maybe it will.
I sure dread it.
Sorta. Kinda. Of course, I reckon the best policy is to try to change the subject every time one of them questions comes up.
Yeah, but they'll more likely just change it back again, though. I tell you, maybe we ought to just close up the store for a few days like you said, Lum.
Well, wait a minute. The crowd's starting to come.
Where?
There's Grandpappy Spears coming up out there.
Yeah. Doggies, I figured old Grandpap would be the first one to get here.
Locusts has come.
Yeah, of all the nosy people in this town, that Grandpappy Spears is the nosiest.
Yeah, but he ain't no different from nobody else.
Oh, he's terrible.
Everybody's that way. Folks just can't mind their own business, looks like. They gotta pry into everybody else's affairs.
He'll ask 9,000 questions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, mind out. Here he comes. Watch out for him.
Don't let his questions get you nervous now.
No.
Answer them with a clear and steady eye.
Oh, I will. Don't worry about me. I'll take care of him, all right. Well, howdy, Grandpap.
Howdy.
Come on back, Grandpap. Proud to see you again.
Yeah, let me sit down in that rocker for half a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Plumb wore out. Yeah, got up early this morning, had to do a batch of walking.
Well?
Done too dadgum much walking, I'm feared.
Well, that's too bad. Whereabouts you walk to, Grandpap?
Well, that was the whole trouble right there.
Huh?
Well, see, I was just out for a walk. Weren't going nowhere in particular, so I couldn't tell when I got there.
Oh.
Just had to keep walking.
Doggies, I never had thought about that before. That is a problem, ain't it?
Yeah, just like that feller in the silo walking around trying to find a corner to sit down in.
Yeah.
And when you ain't got no place special in mind that you're going to, why, you can't take no shortcut to get there.
Yeah, feller's got to be careful what he gets himself into. There ain't no doubt about that.
Especially a feller your age, Grandpap. You ought to take better care of yourself. Oh, I'm spry enough. I just got tards on coming quick. Say, what I come over here for was to ask you fellers a question.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
Now it starts.
Grandpap, wouldn't you rather just sit there and rest for a while, not talk or ask no questions?
No, I got this on my mind, Abner. I just can't think of nothing else till I find out what I want to know.
Yeah,
Why, did you fellers...
Grandpap, how's Aunt Charity today?
Oh, she's all right, I reckon. Did you fellers
How's your nephew, Luke?
Yeah, and Luke's young'un. Him's cute little rascals.
Oh, there.
Love to hear how they're
right.
getting along with their schooling and all.
That's the first thing I think about when I wake up in the morning. How's Luke Spears' young'uns getting along?
I do, too. That's the first thing I think of.
Yes, sir,
I don't know how they're getting along. I never hardly ever see the little brats. Did you fellers...
How's Aunt Charity today, Grandpa?
Will you hush up, Abner, and let a feller speak his piece?
Oh, go ahead. Might as well face it, I reckon. Go on, start asking.
Yeah, that's better. Did you fellers get the paper last week, and have you still got it?
Well, it was this way. We started digging for the treasure. What did you ask, Grandpap?
I'm trying to get hold of a copy of last week's paper, 'cause there was an interesting article in there about me.
Well, I'll be a polka-dotted possum.
No, we never got a paper last week, Grandpap, because we wasn't even in town.
No, see, we was away on that expedition. We was gone.
Yeah, well, I got to get a copy of that article somewhere.
What was the article about?
Oh, about me. Awful interesting, too.
Must have been.
It give a list of the lodge members that's behind in their dues, and I'm one of them. Milford A. Spears. Article was wrote up awful good.
Well, what in the world do you want to keep something like that for?
I want it for my scrapbook.
Huh?
I'm keeping all the newspaper clippings about myself in a great big book. Paste them right in there.
Well, I never knowed that. Yeah, it's nice. How many clippings have you got so far, Grandpap?
Well, let's see now. With this new one, if I can find it, I'll have a total of 3.
3, huh?
Yeah. The first one tells how I won 3rd place in the potato race at the annual Cherry Hill picnic in '09.
Yeah, I recollect that, too.
And the other one tells how I was arrested in Chicago, Illinois for breaking into a woman's ready-to-wear store.
Chicago?
Yes, sir, sir.
Why, you never have been to Chicago, Grandpap.
I know it. It weren't actual me. It was some other Milford Spears. But it's a nice article, wrote up good.
My goodness.
My nephew sent it to me.
Well,
if I'm going to find a copy of that pigeon-toed newspaper, I better skedaddle along. If I find it, I'll let you fellers see it.
Well, wait a minute. You ain't leaving, are you, Grandpap?
Yeah, I got to do it, Abner. Got to do it. I'll let you know if I run across it.
Well, don't you want to ask some question about something else?
Yeah, I hope so, too.
Huh?
Oy vey, from April 19th, 1944, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please thank this station, support their advertisers, their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite station. Now, to friends, visit our webpage, classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream. Stream our shows on demand. Learn about classic radio collecting. You can find our social media links there. And if you'd like to support us, you can buy me a copy. That buy me a copy function on classicradio.stream goes toward helping us acquire additional classic radio programs and helps us maintain our distribution outlets. Classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.